Well, good afternoon. It's Carew Halleck coming to you from the porch at the house. It's Tuesday afternoon, June, I don't know, the last Tuesday in June, whatever that happens to be. And I've had a really interesting last 3 days. So on Friday, it started getting rather warm. Or was that Thursday? Thursday, it started getting really warm at the drive-through. Turns out that the air conditioning, the blower motor went out. They actually had called me on Thursday because they said that the water heater was shaking violently. Well, it turns out it was the blower motor, which is directly over the water heater, that was shaking violently. So this unit dates back to 1972 and was a unit that was mounted up on steel rails above the floor because originally it had blown the air into a plenum system in the ceiling of the drive-through because the Lustron homes had a radiant heat. It radiated down in theory as they blew air into this plenum up above, in the ceiling. So that's why the furnace was where it was. So anyway, it was definitely time to replace it. So they came on. They couldn't get there until Friday afternoon at 4 to look at it, and they were like, "Yep, it's screwed." So it's like, great. What I need is another $5,000 bill for a new furnace, because that's probably what it's going to be. Anyway, so they came on Monday, yesterday, and got that swapped out, and it works like a champ. Now, while we were in the middle of dealing with that over the weekend, and it was hot, so what we had to do is, fortunately, it cooled off in Winona, so it was really hot on Thursday. Friday was not quite so hot, and then Saturday and Sunday it was in the 70s and windy, so we were able to. I've got this giant, barn fan. So we were able to put that at the back door, leave the back door open at the drive-through, open all the windows. And it actually was quite pleasant inside. So anyway, so while I was dealing with that, on Saturday, maybe it was Sunday, I got this picture from Marshall. Now, I knew the water heater was going at the money pit. And it because it had been leaking on the floor ever since we moved in. So I knew that the liner was cracked, and it finally took a turn for the worse, and it was leaving a giant puddle on the floor. So I had to replace that. One of the issues is the fact that, well, you know what? I'm going to switch over to this next video that I shot in the basement talking about it. Hey guys, just a quick video of the latest work at the money pit. So, old water heater, you can see the problem with it. It finally gave up and the inner liner cracked. So because we are going to be abandoning this connection into the chimney because the chimney doesn't have a liner, we're going to be getting rid of that as a vent source. We're going to be power venting it, which means we have to have a power vented water heater. So I got this one with the power vent here on top, and it's venting right now. It's a horrible connection. I just use the aluminum tape for dryer vents just to connect that, and then I use some caulk for chimney mortar, for like chimney brick, to caulk to seal that, and eventually we will vent it over there with the dryer. but I just didn't feel like getting that done today. I wanted to get this thing up and running. So the only real issue I had, I mean, of course I had to completely, replace the gas line. Well, not replace it, from there all the way down. I had an issue, actually, interestingly, with this fixture. It was leaking. The threads were. I don't know if I didn't use enough pipe dope or what. I took it all apart, re-put it back together, and it seems to be working with no leaks now. The other interesting thing is the instructions on the side of the water heater down here, when you light it, tell you to turn the on switch on the power vent on. And then in the instruction booklet, there is no direction to turn the on switch on the power vent on. So we discovered that the power vent comes on automatically once you turn the main unit on down here, the gas control valve. The only issue we had is it wasn't lighting, and then I realized, because the main valve is way over there for the gas, and that's where I had turned the gas off when I had pulled this valve off, I had to essentially crack that fitting until we smelled gas to bleed all the air out of the line and then put it back on again. So I don't know if you can see that rosy glow down there of fire. There you go. Now you can see it right there. So that thing's working now. Everybody's happy. I do need to hook up the pressure relief valve, but my pipe is too long because that water heater was taller. So anyway, that's all I've got. Another day in paradise. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Okay, so now we're done with that. So that's up and running. Everything's great. So today, Preston and I were working on some soffit and fascia, and we had the ladder up against the, up against the house on the back section of the house, and we climbed up onto the roof because we were doing this soffit and fascia, and we realized, we can just climb. We can walk all the way up and take a look at the chimney. And Preston actually went up there, and he came back with a brick. And he said, "Yeah, this is laying on the roof." So literally, one of the bricks had fallen off. That chimney's really, really bad. So anyway, here's the video of the chimney. Hey, everybody out there in DIY land. So yesterday was water heater day. Today is soffit and fascia day down on the porch. So you can see Preston's just putting the finishing nails on. And I thought, well, we got the ladder set up. We might as well jump up and take a look at this chimney. As you can see, this chimney is in horrible shape. This is pretty much how the bricks are. I mean, they're just sitting there. Preston found a brick sitting there earlier. Well, you can see just how much the weather has cut in. I mean, it's like the mortar is completely gone and down below. So I had an idea that we could actually shrink wrap this whole thing and keep it in place. We opted not to do that. What we're going to do instead is we are going to take it down to this course right here. That way we don't have to deal with the flashing, we don't have to deal with the roof. And then what we'll do is we are actually going to put, oh, hey, there's Jennifer. You're on video. We're just going to build a cap for it, a waterproof cap, and then just set that right over the top. That way it'll just stay there until such time that we are ready to actually fix this whole thing. But at least it'll keep the rest of the bricks from going anywhere. Like I said, we'll take the whole chimney all the way down to that point. And I think what we'll do instead of repointing these bricks, because it's only temporary anyway, we're just going to put expandable foam in them. That way, at least they won't move. Expandable foam, 1001 uses. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of what we're up to. It actually is interesting. I don't know if you can see. I'll show you. It's got two flues, flue 1, flue 2. So this one actually goes to the fireplace. You can tell by all the soot inside. And this one must go all the way down to the basement. So I just never suspected that it would have 2 flues, but it does. Anyway, super interesting. Great view from up here, by the way. I'll do a little 360. So right there, the big sand pit, that's the big musical art gallery Xanadu that Kierland's putting in. Public library with a little dome. Right there is the new main square building. That's City Hall. Unfortunately, that's going to be a new prison. Why they decided right at the entrance to town from Wisconsin to put a prison is beyond me. The yellow house right here is Jen and Matt's house. That's that parking lot right there is where the old YMCA was. Anyway, and university's over that way. So that's kind of what we're working on today. That's my story, and I guess sticking to it. So that's that was today. So what I'm going to do is I've got a guy who does welding for us. So I'm going to go down and see if he can make me like an aluminum hatch cover that's the dimensions of that we know once we take all those bricks down that I can fit over that last course of bricks that can act as a weatherproof. So and see how much that runs us. Anyway, I think that'll be better than trying to build something out of wood and try to encase it with, you know, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe wood would work fine. I want something that I know is going to work. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Thursday, Preston and I will continue again. We've been working every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 to 11 or 8 to noon. And then one weekend day. So we'll probably put in some time this weekend too. All right, man, that's my story. Boop, sticking to it. Talk to you later.